In this section, we will explore how session memory is managed and how the operational lifecycle of a session unfolds. Understanding these concepts is key to optimizing resource use and ensuring smooth session performance. In this section, we'll explore compaction, a technique that summarizes older conversation turns to keep the session transcript manageable and efficient for the model. Compaction reduces earlier conversation turns into a concise summary that fits within the model's context window. This keeps the transcript small while preserving the conversation's intent and tool call structure. Let's look at when compaction happens automatically and what exactly it does to the session transcript. OpenCLAW triggers compaction automatically when a session nears its context budget or if the model returns a context overflow error, retrying the request after compaction to avoid failures. Before compaction, OpenCLAW may flush important notes and state to disk to prevent data loss during the compaction and retry process. The summary is appended as a special entry, keeping recent turns verbatim and folding older ones. Tool calls and their results remain paired to preserve logical associations in the trimmed history. Compaction can trigger a retry of the agent's request, which is mostly transparent but has some operational effects to be aware of. The request that triggers compaction will experience a small, bounded delay due to the compaction and retry process. The retry after compaction often succeeds when the original request failed due to context size limits. Auto-compaction does not cause durable data loss, but it rewrites transcripts by summarizing older content. For verbatim retention, backups or policy tuning are necessary. Compaction respects identifiers by default, but you can configure how identifiers are handled during summarization. The default policy, strict, keeps identifiers exactly as they are in the summary. The off policy removes or normalizes identifiers for privacy or sanitization needs. The custom policy applies user-defined transformations to identifiers during compaction. Choosing the right identifier policy balances privacy, cross-references, and system requirements. Use strict if exact IDs are needed or off/custom for sanitized summaries. You can configure which model or provider OpenCLAW uses for compaction by specifying it in the settings. Here's a JSON snippet showing how to configure OpenCLAW to use a remote Anthropic model for compaction. This JSON sets the compaction model to OpenRouter/Anthropic/Claude Sonnet 4-6, directing OpenCLAW to use this provider for summarization. You can also configure compaction to use a local model, such as an Llama model, by specifying its identifier. This JSON config points compaction to a local Llama model named Llama 3.1:8b for summarization tasks. OpenCLAW supports custom compaction providers via plugins, which you can register and configure to handle summarization. To use a registered plugin provider, set the compaction provider field to the plugin's identifier in your configuration. This JSON snippet sets the compaction provider to my provider, enabling OpenCLAW to delegate summarization to that plugin. If a plugin provider fails or returns an empty summary, OpenCLAW automatically falls back to its built-in summarization to keep sessions running smoothly. By default, compaction runs silently, but you can enable user notifications to inform users when compaction starts and ends. Here's how to enable brief user-visible notices for compaction in your configuration file. This JSON enables Notify User, which shows transient messages like compacting older messages during compaction operations. With notifications enabled, users see brief messages at the start and end of compaction, improving session transparency. You can manually trigger compaction within a chat by typing the compact command, optionally adding instructions to guide the summary focus. Here's an example of how to invoke manual compaction with a focus instruction directly in the chat interface. Typing /compact focus on the API design decisions tells the summarizer to condense the conversation with emphasis on API design aspects. Now let's review some cautions and best practices to keep in mind when using compaction. Compaction introduces retries that increase latency for the triggering request. If low latency is critical, consider increasing context budgets or reducing transcript verbosity instead. When using strict identifier policy, manual compaction instructions that rewrite identifiers may cause inconsistencies. Avoid conflicting instructions unless the policy allows changes. If the configured compaction model or provider is unavailable, OpenCLAW falls back to built-in summarization. Test these scenarios to ensure acceptable latency and reliability. Since compaction rewrites transcripts, implement backup workflows if you require verbatim long-term storage for compliance or auditing. Think of compaction like folding old notebook pages into a single summary page at the back, keeping recent pages open while preserving history compactly. Tool calls stay paired like diagrams with captions. Let's review the key points to remember when working with compaction. First, verify your agent's default identifier policy before adjusting compaction settings to avoid unexpected behavior. Ensure your compaction model points to a tested provider or local model, or configure a plugin provider for reliable summarization. Auto-compaction runs silently by default. Enable user notifications if you want visible feedback during compaction. You can force compaction with the /compact command, but avoid instructions that conflict with strict identifier policies to maintain consistency. Finally, test how your compaction providers handle failures and fallback to ensure your system remains reliable and responsive. Let's explore pruning, a technique that trims tool outputs from the in-memory context before each LLM call to keep prompts efficient and manageable. Pruning removes outdated tool outputs from memory just before the model is called, keeping the prompt size small. Unlike compaction, pruning doesn't modify the saved session transcript. It only affects what the model sees during that single request. Pruning focuses on tool-generated data like execution results, file reads, and web fetches, which can blow context. It leaves conversational messages intact in the transcript, and later compaction can still summarize or include these entries if needed. By shrinking the prompt size sent to providers, pruning lowers prompt cache usage and reduces costs. This is especially beneficial with providers like Anthropic that cache prompts. Remember, pruning only affects the live prompt, not the stored history. OpenCLAW automatically enables pruning for Anthropic authentication profiles, applying default time-to-live values to manage tool output retention. For OAuth or token-backed Anthropic profiles, pruning retains tool outputs for 1 hour before trimming them. For Anthropic API key profiles, the default pruning time to live is 30 minutes, balancing freshness and prompt size. These default pruning TTLs apply unless you explicitly override them in the agents.defaults.context pruning configuration settings. To enable pruning, set agents.defaults.context pruning.mode to cache TTL and specify the TTL duration. Setting mode to off disables pruning entirely. Here's an example configuration enabling pruning with a 5-minute TTL. This JSON snippet shows how to enable pruning with a 5-minute time to live, reducing prompt size by trimming tool outputs older than 5 minutes. Select a TTL based on how often your agents use recent tool outputs and how sensitive you are to cost and prompt size. Short TTLs between 1 and 10 minutes work well when agents call noisy tools frequently and cost or prompt cache growth is a concern. The risk is trimming tool outputs needed for immediate follow-up steps. Medium TTLs around 30 minutes offer a balance for interactive agents that use tools occasionally, keeping context manageable without losing too much recent data. Long TTLs of 1 hour or more are safer when tool outputs are often referenced across sessions, though this increases prompt size. Here's a quick checklist to help decide when and how to enable pruning effectively. Turn on pruning when your agents generate lots of tool outputs, or if you're using Anthropic and want to reduce prompt cache writes and costs. Keep pruning off if your sessions rely on freshly produced tool outputs for follow-up steps, or if you prefer compaction and summary persistence instead. If you adjust TTLs, monitor prompt sizes and provider usage closely to understand the impact on costs and performance. A caution: pruning only affects live memory and does not delete stored transcripts. Aggressive TTLs can cause the model to lose access to recent tool outputs between runs. Always test TTL settings in staging before production. In this section, we'll explore the key session-scoped tools OpenCLAW provides. These tools help agents inspect history, send messages, spawn helpers, and manage their workflow across sessions. OpenCLAW offers a small set of session tools that agents use to coordinate across sessions, create background workers, or yield control while waiting for events. These include sessions_history, sessions_send, sessions_yield, sessions_spawn, subagents, and session_status. The sessions_history tool provides a bounded and safety-filtered view of a session's transcript, suitable for reasoning. It excludes sensitive data, control tokens, and large payloads, and can optionally include tool results. Treat it as a summarized, not verbatim, history. Use sessions_send to communicate between sessions. Setting timeout seconds to 0 sends fire and forget messages, while positive timeouts wait for replies. Replies can trigger a short back and forth, but a session can opt out with a special token. The sessions_yield tool signals that the agent has finished its current work and is waiting for the next event. This is especially useful after spawning background helpers, allowing the system to observe subsequent events as new turns. Sessions_spawn creates isolated, non-blocking background sessions and returns identifiers to control them. These spawn sessions run independently, and you can customize their runtime, model, thinking behavior, thread binding, and sandbox restrictions. The runtime option selects the embedded runtime environment for the spawn session, defining how it executes. You can override the AI model used by the child session to tailor its behavior or capabilities. Thinking overrides control how the child session reports its internal reasoning or text markers, affecting transparency. Thread binding decides if the child session shares the parent's thread or context, influencing session isolation. Sandbox enforcement limits the child's access to tools or sandbox features, enhancing security and control. By default, spawn leaf subagents have no session tools and cannot inspect or control other sessions. When max spawn depth is set to 2 or more, orchestrator subagents one level above leaves get limited tools to manage their children. This enforces clear boundaries between orchestrators and workers. Use the subagents tool to manage spawned children by listing them, adjusting runtime parameters, nudging behavior, or forcibly terminating them. Be cautious, as background agents can consume resources and should be monitored. The session_status tool provides status details similar to the gateway snapshot, showing active models, runtimes, and overrides. You can also reset overrides by setting model to default. Checking status helps before spawning or troubleshooting. Think of sessions_spawn like forking a helper process into its own workspace. It works independently and reports back when needed. Without managerial tools, it can't inspect or control others, keeping orchestration predictable and secure. In this section, we'll explore how OpenCLAW manages sessions. We'll cover how messages are routed to sessions, how session data persists, how resets work, and how maintenance keeps sessions clean. OpenCLAW routes inbound messages to sessions based on their origin. Whether it's a direct message, group chat, channel message, cron job, or webhook, each uses deterministic rules combining the sender and agent settings to create a session key. This key determines where the conversation history is stored. A critical choice is how direct messages are scoped. By default, all DMs share a single session, which keeps a consistent persona but risks mixing conversation from different users. For better privacy, especially in public agents, you can isolate sessions per user and channel by changing the DM scope setting. This JSON snippet shows how to configure DM scope to isolate sessions by channel and peer. Setting per channel peer ensures each user's conversation is kept separate, preventing context leaks across users. You can choose between global, which shares one DM session, or per channel peer, which isolates sessions per sender and channel. Use the latter if multiple users DM the same agent and you want to keep conversations private. Test changes by sending DMs from different accounts and checking separate transcripts. Session reset policies determine how long conversation context is kept. OpenCLAW offers several reset options to manage session lifetimes effectively. By default, sessions reset daily at 4 a.m. local time, clearing old context regularly to keep conversations fresh. You can configure an idle reset that clears sessions after a specified number of inactive minutes, helping to free resources when users stop interacting. Users can manually reset sessions with chat commands like /new and /reset. Using /new with a model name also switches the agent's model while resetting the session. Session data is stored in a structured way on disk, making it easy to locate and manage. Each agent has its own sessions directory within the workspace. This is the typical path where session files for a given agent are stored, allowing straightforward access to session metadata and transcripts. Inside the Sessions folder, sessions.json holds session metadata, while each session has an append-only transcript file named by session ID. These transcript files keep a tree-like history for durability and easy updates. OpenCLAW supports session maintenance modes to manage retention. Warn mode reports sessions that could be cleaned up, while Enforce actually prunes old sessions according to configured rules. This example configuration enforces pruning of sessions older than 30 days and limits the total session entries to 500. This helps keep storage manageable and performance optimal. Before enabling Enforce mode, always preview which sessions will be deleted. This prevents accidental data loss and ensures your rules work as expected. Use this CLI command to perform a dry run of session cleanup. It lists candidates for pruning without deleting anything, so you can verify before applying changes. When switching to Enforce mode, follow a careful process to avoid data loss and ensure smooth operation. First, create a backup of your OpenCLAW state. This protects you in case cleanup removes important data. Next, run the dry run cleanup and carefully review which sessions are marked for removal. If the dry run results look good, update your configuration to set maintenance mode to Enforce to activate automatic pruning. After enabling Enforce, monitor gateway logs and session cleanup output closely to catch any unexpected session deletions early. If you notice problems, restore from your backup and switch maintenance mode back to Warn to stop pruning while you troubleshoot. OpenCLAW provides several tools to help you inspect session status and monitor agent health effectively. The OpenCLAW status command gives an overview of gateway health and recent activity, helping you spot issues quickly. Use OpenCLAW Sessions JSON to get a complete session list. Add Active with a time filter to see only recently active sessions for focused inspection. Within chats, use /status to check agent health and /context list to view the current system prompt and active context fragments. You can also monitor the on-disk sessions directory to verify session files and their timestamps, ensuring data is being updated as expected. Here's a quick operational checklist for changing DM isolation. Back up your data, apply the DM scope config change, restart the gateway, test with multiple users, and document or revert as needed. A final warning: Enforce mode will delete session data permanently. Always run a dry run first and keep backups. Use logs and dry run outputs to confirm retention rules before making deletions irreversible.